Good evening, my dear UPC aspirants. So, today is one day before Christmas, so I was busy with my student in my coaching center, so I couldn't update you with this daily news analysis session in the morning time. Anyways, let's look in detail today's daily news analysis, and I welcome each one of you to my Sindhuja's daily news analysis session. So today in the editorial we are going to discuss about the first article, that is regarding NFHS 5. Let's look into closer what it is all about. See, NFHS means the National Family Health Survey. What it is, it's a large scale multi-round survey conducted in a representative sample of households throughout India. These results in particular are important and must be given appropriate attention as it is not done hastily but put together in a detailed, comprehensive and multidimensional report card on the state of India's demographic and health trajectory. So, key findings of the survey. Let's look into detail. First one is decline in TFR. That's a major positive. TFR means total fertility rate. So, the total fertility rate has been falling over time and has now reached a 2.0, just below the replacement rate of 2.1. This fact holds true across all states of India, which means that the total population has stabilized. Second finding of the survey is difference in sex ratio at birth and at an adulthood. See, for the first time in India between 2019 and 21, there were 1020 adult women per 1000 men. But the data shall not undermine the fact that India still has a sex ratio at birth SRB more skewed towards boys than the natural SRB, which is 952 girls per 1000 boys. Till now, there are some major states with low SRB. Those states involve Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana, Bihar, Delhi, Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Odisha and Maharashtra. And the next findings of the survey is poor performance in dealing with anemia. See, the incidence of anemia in under 5 children from 58.6 to 67% it rose. In the case of women from 53.1 to 57% and men 22.7 to 25%. So, this fact seems to give us the knowledge that it has worsened in all states of India. But you know what? The moderate amount of this is 20% to 40%. Barring Kerala, all states are in the severe category, and our Kerala, it has got a percentage of 39.4%, which of course is coming under the moderate value, which I told is between 20% and 40%. Next analysis is of the survey is regarding performance of malnutrition indicators. See, the three indicators of malnutrition, as all might be knowing: stunting, wasting, underweight. These show an overall improvement as far as the survey is concerned. What is stunting? Low height for age. What is wasting? Low weight for height, and underweight, low weight for age. See, however, there is overall improvement. It creates an anomaly as in phase 1 of the NFHS 5. Several states revealed a worsening in one or more of these indicators, whereas in phase 2, none of the states showed a worsening. So, we can conclude that maybe due to the COVID-19, it affected the survey in phase 2, leading to undercounting of incidences. Now, additionally, an increase is witnessed in the proportion of overweight children, women and men, which reflects that malnutrition leads to serious health consequences in the form of NCDs. What are NCDs? Non-communicable diseases. Then the next key finding of the survey is improvements have been witnessed in several dimensions such as educational attainment, institutional deliveries, vaccinations, infant mortality, etc. This progress shall be appreciated, especially given that the abysmal state of India's health infrastructure, which has been tragically apparent since the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Then, what are the issues associated with this particular topic? See, non-inclusion of micronutrients. In addition to anthropometric measures, lack of adequate nutrition is also measured by micronutrient deficiencies. That means micronutrient deficiencies means lack of vitamins and minerals. Most of you might be knowing these two are essential for body functions such as producing hormones, enzymes and other substances which lead to the overall development of the body and growth. The NFHS does not have data on micronutrients. That's the first issue. Second one, COVID-19 blame game. Like the poor health outcomes have been due to the effect of COVID-19. Like that they are blaming. However, the deterioration in public health indicators cannot be attributed entirely to the pandemic. The pandemic might have added fuel to the fire of poor public health, but it did not cause a fire. Third one is this approach, one size fits all. Like in the case of monitoring dietary intake. See, policy of diets by imposing an unnatural uniformity and preventing access to animal protein for large sections of Indians that are not traditionally vegetarian might likely reduce micronutrient diversity and contribute to poor health outcomes. Okay. Then next issue is unethical delivery practices affecting women health. See, the survey focuses on women's empowerment, autonomy and mobility indicators and it shines a spotlight on women's reproductive health. But as per data, C-sections have increased dramatically in private health facilities, like 47.5% births are by C-section, but in public health facilities it is about 14.3%. So these figures are highly unnatural and call into question unethical practices of private health providers who prioritize monetary gain over women's health. The last issue is limited male engagement in family planning. See, female sterilization continues to dominate as the modern method of contraceptives in states like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala, Karnataka, Bihar and Maharashtra. Male engagement in family planning continues to be limited as seen by the low uptake of condoms and male sterilization across the states. So what is the way forward or suggestion? How we can improvise in all these things? First one, collaboration in health sector. See, modern times require integrated and coordinated efforts from all health institutions, academy and other partners directly or indirectly associated with the healthcare services to make the basic as well as advanced health services accessible, affordable and acceptable to all. Second one, we have to learn some lessons from this NFHS. See, the NFHS findings reminds us of the urgent need to close gaps in girls' education and address the pathetic nutritional status of women and children. Then third suggestion that I would like to put forward is behavior change communication strategy. See, the government must adopt a targeted social and behavior change communication strategy to ensure that men also take responsibility for family planning. Then fourth method is policy interventions to address health concerns. See, an action plan should be focused to improve India's health needs, which also needs to be inclusive, firm in its commitment and backed by solid resources. So these are the suggestions of way forward. Then how can we conclude this particular topic? See, the NFHS is second only to the exhaustive data that decennial population census provides. It ought to be treated as an important turning point for policy making in India. Okay, only then we can improve the development indicators further. So that's all for today regarding the part 1 editorial analysis session. Wait for the part 2 session. It will be uploaded shortly. Thanks for watching my video session. Stay safe. Take care. Good night.